There's a strange kind of intimacy in watching your own hair air dry for 30 days straight. No heat, no diffuser, no quick fixes, just your natural texture revealed. For 1 full month, I committed to going completely heat-free. Not because I thought it would make me feel more beautiful or more powerful, but because I was tired of routines and rules. The voice in my head that kept whispering, fix it. Gray hair already asks us to rethink beauty. And then add in wavy texture, the middle child between straight hair and curly hair. And you've got a recipe for some serious hair identity confusion.
What am I doing?
30 days later, I came out the other side with 4 things I wish I'd learned years ago. Protein overload is real and very sneaky. Somewhere along the way, I convinced myself that when it came to my hair, strength was all that mattered. Strength would be the answer to everything. After all the damage I had done by heat styling my hair, I would use strengthening masks, protein-rich conditioners, bond-building this, and keratin that. But with no heat to mask the results, my hair exposed the truth. It was stiff, dry, and tired of being strong. What it wanted, what it was quietly begging for, was moisture. It turns out that when we stop manipulating our hair, we actually start to hear what it needs. For me, that was letting go of the fortifying language of repair and embracing softness instead.
What surprised me most was how easily it is to accidentally overload on protein. Hydrolyzed keratin, silk amino acids, wheat protein, they're in everything. And they're especially in products that are marked for damaged hair, which of course I have because I was heat styling so much. If you're seeing dullness, brittleness, and breakage, and just an overall weird texture, it might be easy to blame it on your gray hair if you're gray, but it might not be dryness. It might be too much strength and not enough slip.
Curly rules don't always work for wavy hair. Every time I try to give up heat styling on my hair, I start following curly hair routines like they're gospel. Heavy creams, leave-in conditioners, strict styling steps, and rituals that take longer than most first dates.
Guess we're stuck here.
But wavy hair isn't curly hair. It flirts with definition, sure, but it doesn't like being weighted down, overly manipulated, or forced into routines that were never made for it. The best routine that I found during 30 days of no heat was to literally do as little as possible. A little mousse, a little lightweight gel, and that's it. Just me and whatever my hair decides to do that day, whatever shape my waves decided to take. Once I let go of these curl rules, my waves started showing up with a lot more confidence, even when I didn't have any, even on the days that I didn't.
Wavy hair tends to fall flat with heavy curl creams and thick hair gels. It really thrives on balance, hydration without heaviness, hold without crunch. I had to stop treating my hair like it was curly and start treating it like it was mine. The less I forced it into patterns and curl types, the better it behaved.
Diffusing isn't a crime, it's a choice. There was a moment, somewhere around day 17, where I caught a glimpse of myself in the mirror and I thought, wow, I look like a drowned rat.
I did not. No, I did not. No.
Air drying felt noble, like I was just doing something, until it didn't. The thing is, I actually like how my hair looks when I diffuse it. The softness, the bounce, the volume. It's not just vanity. It's energy, it's movement, it's intention. I used to think that using heat was like a betrayal of some kind. And now I think withholding it might be. Kind of like when I did a gray blending. I thought I'd given up.
As if I had somehow cheated the process. Really? Who cares?
When I tell you that giving up heat styling on my hair is more difficult than going gray and giving up hair dye, I am not lying. I don't know what it is, and my hair needs a break. There's a difference between over-reliance and healthy enhancement. I've decided that diffusing lives in the second category. Hair experts will even tell you that diffusing is nowhere near as damaging for your hair as is using a straightener.
And let's be honest, for those of us who have lives, air drying for hours just isn't realistic. Diffusing gives me back time, and when I do it right, low heat, low speed, proper distance, I'm not damaging my hair. I'm actually enjoying the process of wearing my hair wavy because, let's face it, it is a process. You ever notice how curly hair is often treated as the before photo, and the after is the smooth, sleek, straightened hair? Remember that movie Princess Diaries with Anne Hathaway? The makeover consisted of straightening out her curly hair. Why is that? Is it easier to tame or sleeker, or is it a fashion trend? I've been thinking about this a lot as I try to embrace my wavy curly hair. Like, why is sleek, smooth, straight hair just so coveted? Why do so many products say that they're designed to tame the curls, tame your hair? What happened to being wild and free? Is straight hair somehow socially superior to curly hair? Like in a professional setting. I know myself, I'm guilty of that. Why didn't I wear my hair wavy more often? I felt like I was unkempt. I felt like it wasn't professional. I felt like it had to be straightened into oblivion in order to feel like I had any sort of authority on anything. And I don't know why that is. Is it just another thing like hair dye where, women are told they need to do something to their appearance in order to feel valued or to not be judged? Do you see straight hair as better than curly hair, or do you see curly hair as better than straight hair? I'd love to open a conversation about this because I've been really, really thinking about this as I do my heatless summer. I'm really ready to let all of that go. I've already let the hair dye go, so I'm ready to embrace and rock my wavy hair. Now, it doesn't mean I'm never going to straighten it again, because I love my hair when it's straight, and I'm learning how to get more days out of my wavy hair, but kind of feel like it's just another thing that they have done to keep women feeling bad about themselves.
Frizz happens, and it's not always an emergency. It's not always something that has to be fixed, and it's not a failure. Somewhere between day 5 and 25, I stopped seeing frizz as a failure, and I started seeing it as life. Gray hair, especially when it's textured, doesn't always fall into line. It rebels, it flares, and it doesn't always apologize. And honestly, neither should we. Frizz isn't necessarily something to eliminate. It's something to understand. It's a signal, not a flaw. When I stopped obsessively trying to control frizz, I started liking my hair more. Not because it was perfect, but because it was real.
I used to think I had to fix frizz, smooth it, tame it, explain it away. But some of the most beautiful hair I've ever seen has texture and movement, and yeah, even frizz. There's something so honest about it, something alive.
In the end, this heat-free month didn't transform my hair, but it did transform the way that I feel about it. It reminded me that not everything has to be high maintenance to be high value. Effort isn't always the same as care, and that sometimes just letting go of control gives us back a quiet kind of power. Will I diffuse again? Yes. Will I straighten again? Absolutely. But will I chase perfection? Oh, heck no.
I used to think routines had to be rigid to work, but what this month taught me was that consistency doesn't have to mean control. There's a softness in showing up for your hair without having to try to tame it. Now, instead of asking, how do I fix this? I ask myself, what does it need today?
Because wavy hair doesn't need a before and after story. It is the story. It's still unfolding, it's still soft, and it's still strong in all the right places. And I'm finally ready to wear it that way.
If there's one thing I've learned, it's that our hair doesn't have to prove anything. It just needs to be supported, and maybe that's the new routine. Not managing, just honoring.